Chatter asks, what is your take about pursuing Brandon Ingram in 2025 offseason? I think he fits in with Wemby. Great handles and passing to unleash off-ball. Wemby also has 40% three-point catch and shoot percentage. I'm not the highest on. Okay, so I talked about it briefly already when it comes to Brandon Ingram. I thought it would have been cool to grab him. I mean, obviously, right? When the Spurs showed that they were somewhat interested. I don't know what they put on the table. Have no idea. But are you saying, because I actually didn't know that. So Brandon Ingram, let's see. Let's do contract salary. So he's about to be a free agent, right? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're telling me right now? All right, so he's currently making $36 million. All right, it's quite a bit. And then the next season, you could try to bring him in. I wonder if he would be asking for the same price. I don't see why he wouldn't, especially since statistic-wise, yeah, it went down this past season, but not that much, honestly. Well, I guess it was a drop-off from last season quite a bit. So, me personally, I do agree with you. Chatter, like I actually do agree with you a lot that I think he does fit with what the Spurs got going on. But the reason why I wanted him this season is because, and this is before we had got Harrison Barnes, is because you could have him on the team and then reevaluate what you want to do afterwards, right? And see, do you keep him or do you just go ahead and trade him off? One thing that's really funny is people think that Brandon Ingram is like super old, but he's not. It just feels like he is. I don't know why it feels like he's been in the league forever. I guess because he has. Look, he's been 2016, but he just seems older than he is. But no, he's only 26. So he still be going into his prime, we could say. I just don't know if that's worth it, especially when the 25 draft is so stacked, right? And I would love for them to get their minutes. This upcoming season is still an evaluation season. We're still going to try to see, who stays on the roster, who doesn't, what we want to do in that regard. So I do agree with you that he does fit. I just don't know if the Spurs if the timing is right, like you still gotta give guys quite a few minutes. What do you guys think though, in the chat at least? Anybody on board for getting Brandon Ingram in the upcoming offseason? And it's not like it's that far off from reality that could happen. I mean, yeah, it's not that far off. So here, sources have told Hoops Wire that the San Antonio Spurs, Charlotte Hornets have emerged as potential Ingram suitors. So it's not that far off that the Spurs could be in that conversation. I just thought the timing now would have been good to have him and have kind of a placeholder. He said no Ingram, not really. Does Ingram even really have any, like, because I hear people say attitude issues all the time, but what is there any issues? I don't think there is. I know he can be quite inconsistent at times, but like, as far as Ingram as like a cultural fit, is that bad? Teammate drops, this is July 13th. Teammate drops honest take on Pelicans Brandon Ingram rumors. Amid all the rumors surrounding Ingram, his teammate with the Pelicans, Trey Murphy, has spoken out about the rumors and possibility that Ingram won't be back. It's tough, and it's also part of the business. Brandon's been unbelievable when it comes to being a role model, seeing how he works on a daily basis. He's always been there for me and coached me up. He does all the little things. I work out with him and spend time with him off the court. It's tough to potentially lose a brother like that, but it's part of the business, and sometimes it might be what's best for him. You never know what it is, but you've always got to make sure that he looks out for his best interests at the end of the day, because that's how it is. theoretically a better Trae Young. Good size, not a minus defender like Trae. Good on-ball player, but not ball dominant. Yeah, he is still kind of young. And right now his value is at its lowest. I got you. Yeah, I guess you got a good point there. I guess it depends on what happens this upcoming season. I think I'm on the fence on it. I'm not, because every time Brandon Ingram comes up, it's like one end of the spectrum or the other, and it's most Spurs fans I see saying no, like definite, say it with your chest, no, I don't want him. And me, I'm kind of on the fence. Like, it's like I can see him fitting, right? I see him fitting pretty well. I also recognize that the 2025 draft is insane, and we're gonna have at least 2 of those. Maybe three if the Bulls won't convey. We all know the Hornets won't. So you could possibly have that position filled. If you can get Cooper Flag, put Cooper Flag at that 3. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. There will be too much shot creators. Okay, well, who we got? We got Vassell, Wemby. Who else is a shot creator? Well, I guess 2025 draft. Is that what you mean? I mean, who else is a shot creator for the Spurs right now? Doesn't Ingram's play style overlap with Vassell's? Well, one thing that chatter brought up was the fact that he shot, which I'm based. I didn't see the statistic myself, but I trust my chat members here, right? Apparently he's 40% catch and shooter. So as a catch and shoot shooter, he's 40%. So like, he doesn't necessarily have to overlap with what Vassell does. I mean, if he can be I guess the one thing that I would be worried about is if we just break him down to being that, right? Like a catch and shooter on occasion, create your own shot when, Wemby's off, on the bench. Well, I guess Wemby could be in the game when you do it as well. Defensively, he's not a 3-and-D, right? He's not that great of a defender. And that's unfortunate, especially at his size. You would want him to be. But he is best with the ball. Yeah, I guess it's tough. We'll become the Brooklyn Nets all over again. It's tough. It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. I like Ingram. Do I want Ingram? I don't know. I would like an Ingram wanting to really ball out, trying to show people something. Will he be rejuvenated here? Or, a role player. I guess that's the thing, too. That's been, like, the main thing with him that you always hear is just inconsistency. I never understood when people talked about, like, attitude or whatever. I don't know where that's coming from. I was not aware of any attitude issues with Ingram. I just know that he can be kind of inconsistent. Sometimes he can disappear. And at his size, you expect more on the defensive end. How about let's let this season go by, all right? And if his value drops, like chatter seems to believe it's going to continue to drop, if it drops even more, then it might be something you think about, right? Look, if you can get him just really short term, because I still would want him probably short term, because our draft picks, they are going to need some time to develop, at least a year or two. Let our future lie with Wemby, Vassell, and Castle, and even Sohan. Yeah, I agree. But at the end of the day, they're inevitably we're going to have players like this. You know what I mean? Like the Spurs are going to be grabbing players to fill in, as free agents. Because when we take off and we have our core and we know what that core is, we're going to be getting guys like this. So I guess it's a question of, is it time and, what his value looks like at that point. Clan, I stopped trusting the process a while ago, and I was a hardcore fan for years. Well, to be fair, man, I think Texas. I think sometimes people say like they put us on the wrong timeline, where people think that we've been rebuilding for X amount of years, and that's not true. The Spurs haven't been rebuilding that long at all. Like, it kind of just started. The problem is we were mediocre for so long, and the Spurs took so long to decide to rebuild that it feels like you've been rebuilding forever, but we haven't. We were just mediocre. The rebuild didn't start until they got rid of Derek White, and that literally just happened a couple years ago. So, we're good.